Tonight on City News. The Big Brother, Big Sister mentor program starts up services in Rotorua. The Arts Village is ready and staff excited at hosting the upcoming X Factor auditions, and local teams in cricket's Baywide Cup didn't fare well in round 2 of the competition played at the weekend. The latest police stats released earlier this month show crime in the Bay of Plenty, including Rotorua, have dropped again on last year's figures. Acting District Commander Tim Anderson says the results are good news for police and their strategy of preventing crime before it happens.
Bay of Plenty wise, so we're coming into summer, some busy months ahead, but crime has been going well. Crime and crash has been going well for the district, yeah.
Great. And is that attributed to anything? Have you been doing anything differently? More campaigning, more getting out on the street?
Yeah, of course we've got a prevention focus in everything we do, whether it be on the roads or in keeping people safe in their homes or even in public places. So there's that focus, and also working closely with our colleagues and government agencies within the Bay of Plenty, whether that be Whakatane, Tauranga, Taupo or Rotorua.
What's your focus leading into summer? What do people need to be vigilant about? What could we concentrate on as a community?
Yeah, look, if people are suspicious about someone in their neighbourhood or in the streets or around vehicles, they can call the police. If it's an emergency, if something's happening, they see someone climbing in their neighbour's window, call 111 immediately. There's also other lines like our local police numbers. Our Crime Stoppers line's always very good. That's completely anonymous, so you can phone up. Police, we're not interested in so much in who's reported it, it's just the information. So we take that information and we act upon it. So that sort of thing. Yeah, the weather's getting nicer. No matter how many times we tell people to lock their cars and things like that, at times we see vehicles that are completely insecure. So those sort of things, people need to lock up their valuables, yeah.
The world's largest mentoring program, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, launched their local program this morning. Rotorua board member Inspector Ed Vanderbroek says the program began in New Zealand in the late 90s and quickly developed a strong reputation for achieving quality results. Inspector Ed Vanderbroek says the young people served by the Big Brother, Big Sister program are among New Zealand's most vulnerable, and in 2012 over 700 children and young people aged between 6 and 18 had their lives enriched by the support of a carefully screened and trained mentor. He says the program is pleased to announce the start of Rotorua coordinator Daryl Parker. Mr Parker has extensive experience in social work and working with children and youth in various agencies and the New Zealand Police, and is excited about starting his new role. He'll be based at the Rotorua Police Station. The search for New Zealand's next X Factor stars has begun, with auditions kicking off in Auckland on Saturday. Thousands turned out at AUT City Campus for a shot at X Factor fame. In Rotorua, auditions are being held at the Arts Village later this month.
So it's the pre-audition round for Rotorua, we're really excited to have them here. The auditions are happening on Monday the 27th of October between 10 AM and 5 PM. And if there's anybody who's wanting to get involved with that and dip their foot in the pool, they can find out more by going to tv3.co.nz/xfactornz.
Why the Arts Village, do you think?
I think we're just the natural place for creative things to happen, I hope.
In sport tonight, local teams in cricket's Baywide Cup didn't fare well in round 2 of the competition played at the weekend. The Bay of Plenty Indians fell short 120 runs to 207 posted by Eves Realty Greerton. And Rotorua Central lost 193 to 194 with 5 wickets in hand for Caris Mount Maunganui. To your weather update now, Rotorua tonight. Fine, light winds, overnight a low of 8. Tomorrow Tuesday, mostly fine, chance shower, light winds, a high of 18 and low of 7. Looking out to Wednesday, mostly fine, chance shower, light winds, a high of 21 and low of 8. Marine weather forecast for tomorrow. Variable 5 knots, but northerly 10 knots for a time in the afternoon. Waves less than half a metre and cloudy periods. Remember, for program listings or to watch City News again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz. You can also see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Coming up on City News, we talk with Rotorua MP, the Honourable Todd McClay, about his promotion into Cabinet and the new ministerial portfolios he's responsible for. And we visit the star cast of the latest opportunity show touring the country. I talk with Suzanne Lynch and Tom Sharplin.
Well, the elections are all over, the votes are counted, and Parliament is now virtually up and running with all the appointments made by Prime Minister John Key, the ministerial appointments, and it's a warm welcome to TV Rotorua airwaves once again to a man who is going to be, as a result of those appointments, very, very busy from here on in, but that's exciting. Minister of Revenue, of course, which is a spin-off from your associate last year prior to the election, Minister of State-Owned Enterprises, Associate Minister of two portfolios. So let's start with those first. Congratulations, by the way. Is it a daunting prospect?
Well, Wayne, thanks very much. Look, I'm really excited, both the confidence the Prime Minister has shown in me, but first and foremost by the ongoing support I receive from the wider Rotorua electorate. So yes, I've been promoted into Cabinet and have retained revenue. I had it as a full portfolio before. I've picked up SOEs, Associate Trade and Associate Foreign Affairs. But I've got to say that first and foremost my responsibility is to the Rotorua electorate, and we're working really hard to make sure that although the workload in Wellington increases, that constituents and my work here at home won't suffer. And
how do you find a balance in that, Todd? I mean, obviously you started, there's a lot of planning for you to do for the year ahead in some ways, and not neglecting the local side is, obviously, as you're saying, is very, very important, but still a pretty difficult task to find boundaries, isn't it?
So in my experience, people that say they're busy often have spare time, and those that don't say they're busy sometimes are. So it's just a matter of organising the time. What I've done with my staff over the last 6 years is made sure that when we aren't in Wellington, that we use the time very well. So I pride myself in not being in this office. I kind of think when I'm in my office, I'm not doing my job. I'm really keen to continue to be involved in all parts of the work in our electorate and the community. My view is if you're not a part of the community that you represent, you can't do your job well in Parliament. So there will be, more time in Wellington, but I don't expect that will get into the way of the very important work we have here at home. And every morning I wake up, I know that the reason the Prime Minister is able to give me these opportunities to work harder for the people of Rotorua is because of the support they give me. And if I take that support for granted, then those opportunities might not be there. So, very busy as a new minister, really excited particularly by the trade portfolio. There are some really important free trade agreements and other work that the government's doing that I now get to be part of. Very important for the wider Rotorua electorate in as far as processing of timber and the export of our kiwi fruit and the dairy industry, but some of the manufacturing we have as well, making sure that these great local companies have access to and good fair access to foreign markets so that they can continue to grow, can continue to employ local people in the wider Rotorua area.
Let's come back to the trade thing, because I think you alluded to the fact that it has some direct spin-offs for us here on the tourism side, this forestry and so on. There's quite a lot of instant applications to, even though it's an associate role, it's still pretty important. In what sort of detail?
Well, take forestry as an example. The opposition parties and Labor said that they wanted to stop all exports of logs overseas and only have processed timber going out. Look, I don't even think they believe that was possible. We produce more trees, more wood in this country than we can use ourselves. When we export logs, they have a very low duty rate. When you process the timber, most countries put a very high duty rate in place. So our processes are not competitive. If we can have more free trade agreements in place, you bring those duty rates down. That means that there isn't an artificial barrier at the port when we export timber. It means that our processes around Rotorua are more competitive. Their goods are cheaper. So, to say we want to process more timber, it's a wish. On the part of the opposition. How you make that work is you get good rules in place, you reduce the red tape and bureaucracy and the unfair competition, and that's what trade agreements are about. So I hope
they also involve a lot of negotiation and around the table stuff, don't they?
Oh, look, they take it takes a long time. So with Korea, we've been negotiating for 6 or 7 years. Kiwi fruit in the Rotorua electorate is very important. New Zealand kiwi fruit into Korea has a 47% duty rate on it, so it's 50%, almost 50% more expensive when it hits the shelves. That means the growers in my electorate get less money, or the kiwi fruit is more expensive. So, I think we're not far away from an agreement with Korea. Minister Grosser and the Prime Minister have been very involved in that. That will mean local producers will make more money, and so that's the importance of trade agreements. My particular interest, though, will be around, for a while, trade promotion. So Minister Grosser puts in place, negotiates these great agreements. How can we make sure local companies, large and small, know about the opportunities and take advantage of them to be able to export more? Because every good we export means good jobs, more jobs here at home.
An instant flow-on effect. Well, we're sitting in your office now, in your electorate office, and I know you've got a busy day ahead of you, so we don't want to block that to your local colour, as it were, but congratulations again on your appointments, and we look forward to seeing what sort of decisions are made in a positive sense for this area, but also for the country. So thanks for your time.
Wayne, thanks very much. Look, Fridays are always electorate days, constituency days. Today's a Friday. I've got constituents coming to see me on all sorts of things. So to your viewers, if you want to come and talk to your MP, jump on the phone, ring the ladies that actually do most of the work for me. I've always got women in my life that tell me what to do. It worked really, really well. But, Fridays are constituent days. Anybody can come down and talk to me about almost anything at all.
Cheers, thanks for your time.
Welcome back to City News. It is my extreme pleasure to be joined now by two very famous Kiwis that you will no doubt recognise before I even introduce them, Suzanne Lynch and Tom Sharplin. They've been here in Rotorua performing with Opportunity, and I am about to interview them now. Hi guys.
Hi Kitty, how are you?
I'm well. I'm very excited to be interviewing you both. Thank you for giving us this time.
No problem.
So let's have a little chat about what you're doing here first, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about life in general, because I'm very interested to find out. So can you tell me first about your involvement with Opportunity?
Well, this is Sue's first tour with Opportunity, and my fifth, I think. And generally, Opportunity was started off as an opera company that toured light opera shows around the country, and they're sort of expanding into sort of more middle of the road stuff like us, really. And they're a very well organised group that play to the older people, the older audience that will come out during the day, and they won't go in the evening, of course, and they give them lunch afterwards and everything. So it's a wonderful spirit, and we thoroughly love the crowds.
We're having fun. It's absolutely great. For me, it's like touring old school, because you meet the people out the front before you do your show, and then you go and chat to them afterwards, and it's fantastic, isn't it, Tom? We're meeting fans from 1968 or something, so it's been really fantastic fun.
Yes, I was actually out there before, and you can hear them all. They come up and they shake their hands and I watched you in the 1960s, or
it's fantastic.
And it must feel nice to know that your work has actually got into the hearts of people and they love
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely,
really,
it is. It's really rewarding.
I always go 1960.
But you've been doing some things in modern times as well. You both have been still travelling around and doing lots of concerts. So tell us a little bit about what you've done. I know that you started out, you were discovered with your sister, weren't you?
Yes, by Peter Posey, yes. We were the Chicks.
Yes.
I went to England, and I became solo first, then I went to England. Worked with Cat Stevens and his band for 5 years. Came back to New Zealand to bring my children up. Wanted them to get some good Kiwi mud between their toes. And I've been sort of singing ever since, doing corporate functions and things. Sing with the Lady Killers, which is Tina Cross, Jackie Clark, Annie Crummer and myself now. Done some shows with Tom here as well. And I also do a lot of vocal coaching now, so I taught the kids on New Zealand Idol, Stars in Their Eyes, and of course just did the last 2 years with New Zealand's Got Talent.
And has New Zealand got talent?
Absolutely.
Heaps.
Unboundless talent that hasn't been discovered, that's why I get out there and teach. I want to pass on experience and encourage people to get in, not just sing but perform. And I'm quite passionate about growing some new entertainers in this country.
Because it takes a certain level of confidence to get up anyway. But then that's so rewarding when that confidence is rewarded by a good response or people have enjoyed what you've done.
Exactly.
So how is the reaction of your audience, Tom, helped you through the years?
I think it just makes, if you work well to your audience, it keeps you sharp, and you have to keep sharp all the time. And as you get older, of course, it maybe takes a bit more effort, but whatever it is, you still have to stay sharp. And working with someone like Sue and Bonnie, opera singer that's on the show with us, they're so good that I have to be my best all the time. Otherwise, I don't deserve being up there with them.
We paid him to say that.
And we worked a lot together over the years.
We do, yeah.
And we've always had fun. But it's concerts like this are...
It's the level of professionalism,
Yeah, professional.
isn't it?
You have to be professional all the time. There's no room for...
To me, every concert I do is as important as the last one.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 2,000 people there. You always give your best. And I think that's perhaps why we've survived in the music industry so long, is professionalism is a big thing,
Your attitude.
Attitude is so important. And I stress that to my kids. What you learn on the way up or what you do on the way up, you're going to get on the way back down. So...
we don't want to go
keep your
down.
ego in your pocket and be professional. Turn up, dress right, on time, know your staff.
And we both took vocal coaching from the same teacher
Yes, we did.
years ago to learn how to use our voice properly.
Without losing your voice.
Without losing your voice, you can sing all day.
So vocal technique is quite important.
Yeah.
He was a wonderful old man, Hubert Milverton Carter, and he taught me an awful lot.
It must be nice both working and knowing that you've had the same coach, you've had the same teacher. Must be quite sentimental, would it be?
Well, it is,
It
because
is.
when we sing together, it's different than singing with other people that have been trained differently, because we need to hold our notes the same and develop our notes the same and produce them the same. And so singing together is really buzz. I don't sing with anyone like Sue because we were taught the same.
Lovely. Well, we're going to take a break now, and we're going to come back after the break with more from Suzanne and Tom, and just absolutely wonderful. We'll see you back soon.
Darling, you say, I know that you say, I know that you say, honest you do, honest you do, honest you do. Darling, you thrill me. I know that you
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Of course, we're here now with Tom Sharplin and Suzanne Lynch, 2 legends in Kiwi music. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Pleasure.
So let's talk a little bit now about modern music and how you're both keeping up with the times.
Well, I listen to a lot of modern music to keep up with the times because it helps keep you in touch with the audience and the whole musical world. But Sue is...
I teach a lot of kids.
teaches a lot of kids.
And they want to sing the things from, today. And so that's fantastic for me because I love modern music as much as, I just love all kinds of music. So it helps me to keep up to date, right up to date.
And the standard of Kiwi music now that's coming out is amazing. I mean, we're winning Grammys, and we've got Young Lord is just phenomenal, isn't she?
I think
I was so excited about her when she...
Oh, yes.
And it was for months later, I was still excited about her success, And it's just because she represents everyone in New Zealand in a way, over there doing so well.
But I think it also shows just the level of the talent in this country. The world is a small place, and, don't be afraid to put something on the net. Get yourself out there because, hey, Lord did it, you can do it. So it's a case of, we are as good as the rest of the world. Be confident.
And you have family as well that are involved, don't you, in the music and television?
I have a son, Andy Lynch, who was the lead guitarist in Zed, the one with the dreadlocks, and he's now playing for the Feelers and also has a recording studio business with Nathan King from Zed. writing music, and my daughter Amy is production assistant at Imagination Television, and they're just doing My Kitchen Rules. But they're busy filming that at the moment.
So pretty much everything you touch indirectly even turns to gold because they're very popular, aren't they?
They are. No, they're doing great. I'm very proud of my kids. And Tom's grandchild's going to be a star, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, she's a big star to me already.
Tell us about your grandchild.
Oh, little Indy Rose. She just loves to move, and I just sing to her, and she sings so beautifully.
See it in her, right
and she
already.
really enjoys the thrill of singing, and that's one of the things that sort of keeps us in it is the joy of singing, and through singing you give people joy, and
you get joy
yourself. And you can't really perform well unless you're happy with yourself.
That's it.
You have to be, you know.
And just to pass on our experience to young kids out there is, a fantastic thing to be able to do.
Because when I started in Tauranga. I played in Rotorua here at the Checkers nightclub in 1967. But there were so many things I had to learn the hard way along the way. And you feel if you can help younger performers and that get over those hurdles without going through all the angst that we had to, you can pass on that experience and knowledge. If you can feed that on, we know it helps them because it helped us a lot of the time, and that's really.
Now we've got some CDs here that you would have seen when we first came back from break. Now that's just a recent photo, obviously.
Very recent photo of me. Yeah, it's the lighting's improved, but it's a collection of songs I've recorded over the years that have been most requested, and people sort of say, do this, so you sort of select through a whole lot of stuff you've done over the years, and it's put together a collection. Because I've sold all my other stuff, and I needed a new one because people want to keep buying it.
So does it feel nice to be known as Mr. Rock and Roll?
Yeah, it's always an honour. I mean, because the original Mr. King of Rock and Roll was Johnny Devlin, who managed me for a while, and I became good friends. And then they labelled Tommy Adderley sort of Mr. Rock and Roll too, didn't they, for a while? And he was another one of my heroes and became a friend too before he passed away. So it's an honour. Yeah, it's a great honour.
I love it that you had the rock star attitude before you had the rock star voice, and you just went for the rock star voice and put it all together. And then we've got this beautiful Colours of Summer. So can you tell us a little bit about that, Suzanne?
Well, my son actually wrote Colour of Summer. He wrote that song. This is produced by Eddie Rayner from Split Ends. I was doing New Zealand Idol at the time, and Eddie said, it's about time you made an album. So I did, and Neil Finn and Tim Finn both gave me songs for this. And I wrote 3 myself, which was a big ask, but I did it. And Eddie's done a fabulous job. It's just a beautiful album that I haven't really had time to get out there and promote, actually, because I've been busy with the Lady Killers or doing shows or whatever. But I'm going to start to do that now.
Well, just finally, we're out of time, but could we finish with a little bit of advice for some people out there that might be watching, some young or old, that might have the desire to get up on stage and perform, or what would your advice to them be?
My advice would be follow your dream and sing or play as much as you possibly can. Sing all day, play all day if you can. That's how you get better.
And my advice is do the homework, get your technique happening. A lot of people sit there, it's hard to learn piano or guitar and hard to get a little bit of singing technique, because when you get the opportunity, you want to be ready for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you both so very much for spending time with us. It's been a pleasure to interview you.
Thanks,
and we wish you all the best for the rest of your trip.
Same for you.
Such a pleasure to speak there to Kiwi music icons Suzanne Lynch and Tom Sharplin. What a great show last week at Baptist Church. To contact City News, email news@tv-rotorua.co.nz, or to watch the show again, visit tv-rotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching tonight. Paul Marie.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.